Alright, he's there, just like he said he would be.
Yes, so what exactly is your plan to take care of him?
Don't worry, I got this.
You're going to stab him?
Nah, I'm not going to stab him. I'm going to throw it at him. Watch this. Fools. Death is something that has long abandoned me. I fucked up.
Yeah, he fucked up.
He fucked up. Of course he did. Well, with those plans down the toilet, guess I'd better do another review. Hello and welcome. Well, after an absence of about 2 years, I guess I'd better review another Assassin's Creed game. So today, I'm going to review Assassin's Creed Rogue? Okay then. The modern day portion of the game takes place shortly after the parts in Black Flag, where Abstergo is trying to dive into another assassin's memories, only for it to cause Abstergo Entertainment servers to go haywire, although the main contribution this does to the story is you occasionally have to exit the Animus, travel to one of the parts of the building to reactivate the servers. But the main meat of the story takes place during the historic segments, taking place in America during the 7 Years' War, where you play as a low-ranking assassin and Irish immigrant, Shay Cormac, who along with his fellow assassin and Irishman Liam, were ordered by the higher-ups of the Creed, including 2 familiar faces, Ajawate from Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Achilles from Assassin's Creed 3, to hunt down and kill the Templars and retrieve a map that leads to ancient precursor artifacts that might possibly be pieces of Eden, and by doing so, stopping the Templars from getting them. Shay fulfills the first 2 tasks of killing the Templars and retrieving the maps, but after heading off to Lisbon, he finds one of the artifacts, but it turns out these artifacts, called Trees of Eden, are essentially holding the planet's tectonic plates together, and by removing one of them, causes a massive earthquake that destroys Lisbon, killing possibly tens if not hundreds of thousands of people. Shay returns to the assassins extremely pissed off about all the unnecessary deaths and destruction caused by his actions and demands that they not use the map to search for any more artifacts. However, Achilles and the rest of the higher-ups of the assassins decide to ignore Shay's advice and continue their search for the artifacts. Shay is now doubly pissed off and decides to break into the assassins' headquarters and steal the map so they can't search for the artifacts anymore. However, he is caught in the act, and in the ensuing struggle, he decides that he would rather jump off a cliff than let the assassins have the map. Shay wakes up in a house in New York where his wounds are being attended to by an elderly couple. However, the elderly couple are then attacked by a bunch of thugs hired by the assassins, and Shay fights them off. He's then introduced to the man that saved his life, a general from the British Army by the name of George Monroe. Monroe later reveals that he is a Templar who's been keeping the map safe ever since he found you, and also wishes to stop the assassins from getting to the artifacts. Shay decides to help out Monroe to keep the map safe in exchange for saving his life. However, the assassins steal the map and kill Monroe, and this is enough motivation for Shay to join the Templars proper. And he arrives back in New York to meet up with their leader and familiar face. That's right, Haytham Kenway's back! Shay and Haytham manage to track down the assassins with the help of this game's obligatory shoehorned historical figure, Captain Cook, who apparently was actually in the 7 Years' War around these sort of parts during this sort of time, although I'm not quite sure about the beard they gave him. The next few missions essentially follow the same formula. Hunting down one of the assassins, killing them, finding out that they were just a distraction so that the rest of the assassins had more time to find the artifact, and rinse and repeat. Eventually, Shay tracks down Liam and Achilles to a massive glacier where the next Tree of Eden resides. Achilles finds the thing and realises he's not what he thought he was. Shay turns up to say, "I told you so," and Liam accidentally knocks over the Tree of Eden, causing another earthquake, and Shay chases Liam and they both end up falling off an icy cliff. Liam dies, but Shay survives somehow, and later he tries to convince Haytham not to kill Achilles. Haytham decides to shoot Achilles in the leg, but lets him live to be old and limpy for Assassin's Creed 3. We then have a time skip where Shay turns up at the Palace of Versailles to try and find the map again, as well as kill the assassin who has it. He does so, and in turn sets up the events for Assassin's Creed Unity. Your gameplay is just your standard Assassin's Creed affair. Jumping, climbing, sneaking, occasionally shooting, and jumping into hay bales. The two new notable additions to the arsenal are an air gun that can shoot sleep darts, berserk darts, or firecrackers that can be used to force enemies out of hiding. And there is also some sort of grenade launcher that can shoot sleep gas grenades, berserk gas grenades, or just your regular brand Splody grenades. They've brought back the Assassin's Creed Black Flag ship gameplay, and the game takes place in 3 main areas: New York, the North Atlantic, and the River Valley. There are some side objectives including raiding enemy ships, fighting legendary ships, sneaking into and stealing enemy supplies, destroying enemy fortresses, taking down assassin hideouts, gathering Templar items and artifacts, as well as Viking artifacts, and finding Native American cave paintings. The graphics are alright, not much better or worse than any of the other Assassin's Creed games that were released around about this time. But it does a decent job, although the environments aren't very memorable other than the brief portion in Lisbon. The music is much the same, does a decent job, but isn't exactly that memorable and is kind of forgettable, to be honest. Oh, and I hope you like 1700 sea shanties, because guess what? They're back as well! This game is a weird one. While the premise is interesting, the story's alright, and it helps tie together some of the other Assassin's Creed games, it just doesn't do anything that uniquely good, bad or interesting to make it stand out in the series, as thus one of the more forgettable entries in the franchise. Well, I can't really say or not if you should play this if you have no experience with the series. I guess if you have played the other games, you might like this too. Well, that's all from me, Chrissy Bill, signing out, I guess. Where you play as a low-ranking assassin and a Irish immigrant, where his wounds are being attended to by an elderly couple and the map has disappeared. And this is enough motivation for Shay to dawn the